Hello, this is Tammy from Finding Tammy Joe, and if you watch my other previous video, this is my second, and I'm having a little trouble getting these on YouTube, and maybe it's because I just having technology issues on these new things that I'm not used to doing, but I decided to make a video on why I decided to get a VSG for myself versus like a Roux-en-Y or a Lapband. And as you guys know, I'm a nurse and everything, so I see an array of patients out there that's had bariatric surgeries, mainly though Roux-en-Ys and Lapbands. And how I heard about a VSG is I work with another nurse, and I knew that she was going to have this surgery and everything, but I didn't kind of question her about it too much. I knew she was having some weight loss surgery, and she had it, and she started really looking good. And one day I was working with her, and she walked up to me and she said, "You know, Tammy, you should really have this VSG." And I said, "Well, what the heck is a VSG?" So she started to explain it to me and everything, and I questioned her about it and stuff. But as I walked away from the conversation, honestly, I kind of was, I was a little crushed, offended, or whatever, and I thought, oh my gosh, she must think I am huge to be able to think that I need to have bariatric surgery and stuff. So I come home that night, and I kind of was plundering in my mind, and I got online and started looking up, and that's when I found out YouTube videos. And so, I kind of have to have a shout out for my people that I've watched a lot, and that's Leah's VSG journey, Finding Liz VSG. I just kind of started watching her just recently. VSG Tanya 2011, Less of Sarah, and Sarah Nerd of Oregon, and VSG Kirk, and kind of the popular ones out there. You guys are amazing shrinking people. It's amazing. So this was started like back in May of 2013, I believe. And if you watch my other video, you'll know why I didn't have surgery sooner than this March, because of my husband's accident and financial issues. But anyway, why I chose the VSG. I researched it, and I just like the pros, the pros on it versus the negatives, and from the Roux-en-Y. I have a really, really close friend of mine that had a Roux-en-Y 15 years ago, and you know who you are. And she's been very, very successful. But at the time, 15 years ago, it was quite a while ago, and it was a major, major surgery, and it terrified me. And I swore to myself, secretly, I would never, ever, ever have surgery like that. That is just no way. She came home, she had tubes, and she had this pretty big incision, and it scared me. So when my friend at work came up and said, "You need a VSG, you need to look into this," I did. I took her word for it, and here I am. I'm a VSG patient. So what I liked about the VSG versus the Roux-en-Y, and I'm not saying I have no qualms about the Roux-en-Y. I think Roux-en-Y can be really good for some people. I do have a little qualms about the Lapband, but I'll tell you about that. The Roux-en-Y, I didn't like the fact that they would have to totally, reroute any organ parts, and I didn't like the fact that my stomach would be just dangling out there, and they couldn't scope my stomach. It was like what they call a ghost stomach, still producing acid and everything. That kind of freaked me out a little bit. I didn't like the fact that it can stretch over time, and I couldn't have NSAIDs, which is anti-inflammatory medications, which they don't want you to have that very much with the VSG anyway. But I do have some fibromyalgia and pretty bad arthritis, so I wanted the fact that once in a while, if I hurt really bad, I wanted to take an Advil, I could, and that was appealing to me. What I liked about the VSG though, again, there was no rerouting. I wouldn't have to take quite as many medications my pyloric valve stays in place. I like that. And the Grenlin, I never heard of Grenlin before, even being a nurse and through nutrition, I can't quite remember that. And I like the fact that that part is of your stomach that makes you hungry was disappeared. So anyway, I just decided to look into it more, and that's when I started watching these videos. And I decided I was going to do it. So July of last year, I went over and I made an appointment and had a scope and everything, and I was diagnosed with Barrett's esophagus, and I was called and said, oh, you can only have a Roux-en-Y. And I pretty well said, I'm not going to do a Roux-en-Y. And I got on a Prilosec regimen, and I talked to my doctor, the surgeon, and he sent me to a specialist up in Eugene, and he said, I think you're going to be fine with a gastric gastric sleeve. So May I did it. I think that the Roux-en-Y can be really good for some people. I know that you lose faster and everything, and I just think that if you're at a certain weight in your life and you're a certain point in your life, then I think a Roux-en-Y would really be good. I have about 140 pounds that I would like to lose, and if I realistically lose even 100 pounds, I am going to be really happy. So also, with the Lapband, I as a nurse, I see some really adverse effects with the Lapband. Not saying that there's nothing against it either, but I've had a few patients that it's eroded through their stomach and into their abdomen and into the liver, and they're really in deep trouble. And I just didn't want that for myself. It really scared me, and I didn't want to have it filled. I wanted to have surgery, lose my weight, change my life, change my eating habits, and go on with my life. I didn't want to have something that I had to maintain, and that is why I didn't go with the Lapband. I know that Lapband can be really good though, depending on your age. I have a friend that her mom had it, and she's in her late 70s, and she just had one last year by my surgeon. And the reason why they gave it to her, she is a severe diabetic, and they thought, this is going to make you lose weight and you're going to be better. And she's off all her insulin and all her medications. So that is a good thing. And she's lost like almost 80 pounds, is what I've heard. So I just was so tired of being fat. And I asked my doctor to have an A1C, hemoglobin A1C, which monitors your blood sugar levels. And I kind of keep an eye on my blood work and everything, and it just had climbed, and it was like, that's kind of odd. And my brother, which has been heavy most of his life, he was just newly diagnosed with diabetes. And then my best friend, she was diagnosed with diabetes, and it freaked me out. Excuse me. It just freaked me out, thinking that, oh my gosh, my hemoglobin A1C is just teetering right there on the edge of saying, yeah, you're type 2 diabetic. And I he says, you're not type 2 yet, but it could be coming, and I could still become type 2 diabetic or get diabetes. So that was another decision that I decided that, I just wanted this surgery. Another thing is with my arthritis and my fibromyalgia, I would come home and I work 12 to 14 hour days, and I hurt all over. And I just, just hoped and and prayed that it would something would relieve my pain sometimes. And honestly, since I've had my VSG, I've hardly had any pain. Now, I haven't been working either. I've been off for 6 weeks. I go back next Monday. So time will tell. if my ankles are hurt. But, you know, I know that I have arthritis and I can't get rid of it. You know, I mean, I've had it all my life since I was a little girl. So that's going to be a main thing is just to see how bad it hurts after I stand on my feet for 12 to 14 hours. Another thing is, you know, I just wanted, if you know, things go through your head, you think, geez, you know, what if I got cancer? You know, at least I could maybe eat a little more than a roux-en-y, but really you know, we're pretty, it's the same. I mean, you know, 3 to 4 ounces in a roux-en-y, I think is 2 to 3 ounces. So my advice to you guys is just really research, go online, look at YouTube videos, get books. I bought books on my Kindle. There's a lot of books out there. Sleeve Life, can't think of all, Skinny Jeans at Last, I believe I got that one. And just read them and look and research before you make the decision that for this life-changing event that you're going to do. Don't go at it half-heartedly, you know, excuse me, my mouth is dry. You know, just make the decision that's best for you. Look at your options, talk to your surgeon, talk to people that you know that's had it. My friend that works, she's been very successful. There's a couple of secretaries that's been very successful. So I questioned them afterwards, you know, and just talked. And I applaud these people that's on Facebook posting pictures and the YouTube people that are sharing their lives. I mean, you guys are amazing, and I have to say that you changed my life and, you know, really influenced me to have the VSG, and I want to thank you. And one of these days maybe I can see you at a weight loss convention or something, hopefully. But anyway, this is for that video right now, and I will make another video about my weight on Wednesday. And I hope you guys follow me, subscribe if you want to, and we'll just get this journey together, and hopefully we succeed, which we are going to succeed. And I will talk to you later. Bye, YouTube people.